What is up, y'all? It is your girl Brand New, and I'm back in the building for a recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 9, Episode 16. It starts out where they are still in Maui, and you have Kandi is so upset. She's calling Porsha all kind of hoes and crying, and she's so emotional. You see Porsha just sitting there, just unfazed, unbothered, shaking her head, and Kandi is the one being all emotional. You got Cynthia talking about, but Porsha, you did lie, and that shit ain't right, and she's all on Kandi's side. All of y'all, I just feel like y'all should be neutral. Y'all are just taking Kandi's word for everything. Yes, she had text messages, but it's like at this point in the game, like I said before, I really don't care what Kandi had. Kandi is the one that exploited this whole situation, and in my opinion, she shouldn't have said so much. Like I told y'all before, if you keep saying what somebody did, and then somebody's gonna say something back, and Kandi has this way about her where her mother, Don Juan and them, they can say whatever about her castmates. They're not supposed to say nothing back. In this particular situation, she doesn't think that Porsha should say anything about her. Yes, Porsha is lying. So there's been people saying, oh, well, how you gonna take up for Porsha? She ain't all the way right either. She's lying. She is lying, but I don't think Porsha would have took it that far if Kandi wouldn't have set Cynthia, Kenya. Like, really, you got Kenya in the mix, and you telling her everything about Porsha, and you know that Kenya is always starting shit, and always, she's gonna look for a reason to use this against Porsha, because she don't like her, and she's jealous of Porsha. I've noticed that since Kenya came on the show, she's very jealous of Porsha. But anyways, Kandi, you can't sit all these people down together telling them everything about Porsha and then think that Porsha go sit up there and ain't gonna say shit about you. You really stupid for that. So you got Todd taking Kandi out, and Kandi's calling Porsha all kind of hoes. I felt bad for Porsha, because if I got my man there, I wouldn't want him to hear anybody disrespecting me like that. I felt embarrassed, honestly, for Porsha, because I know that Porsha, even though she was lying, she didn't want it to go that far. But yeah, she has every right to make up a lie and to tell what was said in the streets. Because Kandi, you didn't mind repeating what was in them streets about Phaedra and Phaedra's divorce. You know, and Phaedra, that bomb threat. When Mama Joy said what she said, you defended your mother. Well, that's what was said in the streets. But when somebody else say what they heard from the streets that your mama listened to, oh, they don't have a right. That's a lie. That could ruin everything for me. Stop putting your motherfucking ass in these situations, Kandi. You brought this on your motherfucking self. This bitch never takes any responsibility for anything. And she's trying to, I want Nene to hurry up and come back, like, immediately. Because I just feel like Kandi just thinks she's the little gangster of the show. So it just pretty much ends with, Todd dragging her off. You got Phaedra had a few words with Todd. Kandi's Todd saying, well, shit, you just said some shit about me, too. He was like, well, I never lied. And Phaedra is giving him the eye like, shit, you did lie. They was both thinking that she called the feds on Apollo. So you and Kandi have lied on Phaedra Todd to make her look a certain kind of way. So why is it a big deal when the shit turns around on y'all? And I was not feeling Kandi's Todd getting involved in it, because shit, I know that's your wife, but calm her ass down. But don't get in a situation with women. I don't like that. Next you have, so they end dinner like that. Oh, another quick part is Kenya was trying to calm Phaedra down, and oh yeah, but Porsha be lying, and this is what I'm saying. Kenya already doesn't like Porsha, so it's just like she loves all of this. She loves that Porsha is under attack, so she can manipulate, and she could try to play victim and make it look like Porsha is this bad person. It's like, Kenya, shut the fuck up. So that's why I really didn't like Kandi telling Kenya anything. I know they on a show, but just wasn't feeling all that. So next, everybody pretty much checks in. Cynthia checks in with her cargo partner about her upcoming situation with that. You have Phaedra checking in, with her kids, and, they see that she's having a good time. Next, you have Todd and Kandi in their room, and basically Kandi calls Phaedra and lets her know that Porsha and her man, they should just chill. And I feel like they should just chill because I just feel like it's too much drama at this point. Next, we got Phaedra. She comes to Portia's room, and it was kind of weird that Porsha got her titties out, and already all of a sudden, I'm like, why are you getting your titties out for Phaedra? But I guess so they can do their little whore thing that they do, where they show all their ass and titties, I don't know. And Phaedra didn't mind doing all of that in front of Portia's Todd. I would never want my man to be around my friend looking like that and acting like that, but that's just me, so I guess that's cool in their friendship, but that's not something I would want. I just thought that was kind of weird that Phaedra was acting like that, but y'all know how Phaedra is. Phaedra's just Phaedra, no matter who's around. She'll show that ass and her titty, so. And Phaedra has a nice body, though, I give her that. Next, they're all in their separate cars, Kandi and Todd and Cynthia and Peter, they're in one car, and then you have Phaedra, Sheree, Bob, and Kenya is in another car, and they just was talking about what happened, and Peter saying they was still there for another hour, and Peter tells them that Porsha said that she's sick of being bullied, and Kandi telling me, well, she wasn't being bullied. Kandi just got overly emotional about the situation. She does this with every situation, not just this Porsha situation. She don't never take responsibility. And it's annoying at this point. So I have people saying, well, you like Porsha so much. I am not team nobody on this. I'm ready for them to move the fuck along because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm a little bit disappointed with this season that it's these same washed up ass storylines. I'm ready to move on from this situation. So next we have an issue in the car. We have an issue in the car between Bob and Sheree, where they were talking about Cynthia and Peter, how, they're still able to be around each other, and it's really nice. And Sheree was saying, well, we would have never been able to do that. And then they get off into a part where basically Bob was just like, oh, well, I guess they had like an incident in the car. And he was saying something about he wanted her to fly out the window. And then he was like, well, I never hit you and I never choked you. And she was like, well, yes, you did. You did choke me. And he was like, well, maybe I didn't choke you hard enough. And I'm just looking at Bob like, Bob, why the fuck is you even talking like that? You know that that's not cool. For you to even fucking talk like that. So why is you even talking like that? Like, I didn't even understand why, he was talking to her like that. I like Bob when Bob is acting funny and hilarious, but I thought he was being completely out of line and disrespectful. So they're in the car, and Phaedra's trying to get him to apologize because Sheree starts crying. It's very weird that Kenya's trying to comfort her. I'm sure Sheree didn't want Kenya trying to comfort her, because Kenya was saying that Sheree was in a domestic violence, type relationship, which I don't even know how she would even fucking know about. But yeah, it was weird that Kenya was comforting her. But it was good that Kenya comforted her. I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but it was just weird that it was her doing that. So anyway, Porsha and her dude, they're on the beach getting their, I think they getting their massages and shit, and then everybody else is on this wild ass boat ride, and everybody's getting wet and screaming, and they having a good time. Next, everybody is back together for dinner, and Phaedra is letting everybody know, we all had a good time. I hope Porsha had a good time, but we all need to get together, try to have a restoration service, that way we could come together in peace. Kandi is saying, I'm done. And then Cynthia is just like, we could try to get together, but I'm going to have to go to bed. My issue with Cynthia this episode is, Cynthia, you is all up Kandi's ass. You should remain neutral. You don't know what happened. You don't, and it's like, she's just trying to just take Kandi's side. Same with Kenya. You know, they already didn't really like Porsha, so it was just, oh, we're on Kandi's side. You know, she has receipts, and, you know, she does lie, and she made up stuff about Peter, and it's just like, you ended up still getting divorced, Cynthia, and he did seem like he touched somebody's breast. So, yes, I get Porsha is lying, but like I said, y'all, I think they should just kind of be neutral. This is really between Kandi and Porsha. But they're not mature like that. They, you know, go take sides because they don't like the girl anyways. So, anyways, the guys all end up getting together, and I like how Porsha's Todd is getting along with the guys. They're all talking about their situations with the wives, how the wives need to handle and make things right. You got Bob talking about his situation with Sheree, how he put her through so much stuff and she's really callous towards him. And then you have, you know, the rest of the guys. You got Peter saying, you know, I'm still hurt that things didn't work out. I really cared about her. And, you know, so they pretty much having their guys' nightcap. Next, we have Phaedra and Porsha and Sheree. They're all together because all the ladies are going to meet up. And Sheree is letting them know what happened with Bob and how they had the situation in the van where, you know, Bob was being really mean. And, you know, it's like he's still acting immature. She's letting Porsha know what happened with that because Porsha wasn't there. And, you know, Phaedra is there to, you know, say, yeah, he was acting insensitive and disrespectful, and, you know, so now Sheree is thinking about that maybe it's not a good idea for her and Bob to work things out because she feel like Bob hasn't changed. I will say this, I don't think they should be together. They don't really seem to have any chemistry. They don't have chemistry in a way I see them being together for years. It's kind of like, you can't keep it with Sheree and Bob. Their whole dynamic is, well, I'm trying to forgive you for this, and you never given a relationship another chance. You have to give it another chance. You can't keep trying to make somebody feel guilty about the past. So you either go get over it, Sheree, or not. If you can't, then move on. And y'all shouldn't be together. I do like the fun side of Bob where he's funny and cracking jokes, but I did not like that domestic violence bullshit he pulled in that van. I felt like that made him look really bad, and he just takes the shit as a joke. So I was really disappointed in Bob, but I don't think that they should be together because it looked like Sheree will never be able to forgive him, and it looked like Bob thinks the shit is just a joke. So that's pretty much, you know, it with them, you guys. Next, Kandi comes in the room and kind of brings the whole room down because, you know, she's still mad at Porsha. And Porsha is just sitting there cool. Kandi is the one that's so emotional and so hurt. But Kandi is just one of them people where she could dish everything out. She never can take anything. And Porsha just let her know, hey, I said what I said, you know, whether it be a lie or not. These ain't her exact words, but you kept coming for me. And I believe Phaedra said that about Kandi at one point too. Like, you came for me, so you think I ain't gonna say nothing? And so then they end up getting to the situation with Sheree, where Kenya felt like Sheree was making fun of the fact that Matt be busting out her windows, and Kenya provokes him. Kenya, you do provoke that man. I'm not saying you deserve to get your ass beat or nothing like that, but I know you treat him like shit when them cameras is off. That man ain't acting crazy like that. So for you to try to come at Sheree, and then you came at her talking about, well, you was in an abusive relationship. First off, see, this is the shit I'm talking about. You bitches is always trying to put other people's business out there, but then when they come for your ass, you get upset. You should have never said that shit. You should have stayed out of that, because you don't know what happened with Sheree and her relationship. She may not have wanted everybody to know that, but you do provoke people. You provoke Porsha into dragging your ass across that stage. So this bitch is always trying to play dumb, play victim. Kenya, shut the fuck up. I get what she was saying about, oh, well, no man deserves to put his hands on a woman under any circumstance. I do believe in that, but Kenya, you also can't provoke people and try to treat people like shit, and you do that. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. And, you know, they still try to, you know, work their issues out. There is a point where Porsha and Kandi is talking.